Hey, what's up everybody? Got another pickups video for you guys, and it's not going to be the most exciting one, to be honest. I just figured I'd get some out for you guys, because otherwise who the hell knows when the next video would have been a month from now. I just don't know. I just figured since I had some free time I would find something to do a vid on and have some pickups. So I will talk about another pickup that I have that I wouldn't even bring up on YouTube, but I'm having some problems with it, and I figure I might as well just throw it out there. Not that anybody's probably going to know what to do, but it's not something I can show in this vid because I can't bring it inside, but I will talk about it here at the end. But otherwise, I got a lot of computer stuff and some console games, so I'll get right into that. And this has to do with the last pickups video, actually. I got Heretic: Shadow of the Serpent Riders. This is obviously not the original release. This is the '96 reissue that has the extra episodes, which for me, cool enough. Other than just pure collector value, there's really no reason to own that original Heretic version. So I'm fine with this. It does have the manual in there. And the disc is in pretty good shape. Some light scratches, but for what it is, for a data CD, it's fine. Since you weren't actually playing the game off the disc, it doesn't matter one bit, as long as it installs. The only trouble with this is there was a sticker on the front, and obviously taking that off kind of ruined it. And I freaking hate digipacks. I detest these damn things. They just suck, because once they get destroyed, your artwork is ruined, and this is ruined. So, I mean, like, you get all banged up. And this is all bent up here. Just gets dinged, and yeah, it's like it's just a pain in the ass. It chips away, and I mean, once this comes unglued, just throw it away because it's junk. I mean, this one's already ever so slightly starting to come away. So, you know, it's a problem. So I freaking hate digipacks. But what can you do when that's all it comes in? What can you do? And here's another game. This one, I'm kind of surprised it took me this long to get it, because I've been playing this game for well over 10 years. It's a great game. Quake 3 Arena. You can see my product key, not that it matters, but good copy of Quake 3 Arena, obviously only in the jewel case. And then with it, Quake 3 Team Arena. Now these definitely came together in the same box. It was a later release. I don't know what kind of box it came in, because it doesn't say Quake 3 Gold there on the stickers, because that was one of the editions that they put out later on, and it would say so right on the stickers, and the text was like red, I think. But these are definitely a later issue, because when you go to install this one, it says that if you want to install this when you're done, don't restart your computer, and they have a 2001 copyright date on the back of them, and this came out like a year after this, so obviously they were in a box together, but I just don't know what box. Otherwise, for that, I am glad they're a later issue, because they're more up to date in terms of what version they're on, so that's good enough for me. So cool to have that, definitely. Here's a piece of software. Got myself an iPod software disk. So let me actually sit. Instead of sitting on my legs because it's making my damn chair creak. But this is an iPod software disk from 2003. This is probably from like December of 2003. Because the iTunes version on it is 4.2, I think, which is from December 2003. So this definitely would have come with like the 3rd generation iPod, or maybe the very first iPod mini, I don't know. But there it is. And just like any of these other freaking gray Apple discs, like the Mac Restore software or iLife or any of that stuff, This came sealed. And as a matter of fact, even though it's 20 years old, because it was sealed for that long, the adhesive is still good. Still strong, so it resealed itself when I closed it, so it's plenty strong. Might as well have never opened it. But when I did open it, the disc is all scratched up, so they're light scratches, but it is all scuffed up, and obviously the way this is, debris and stuff gets in there and the book's kind of coarse and it just scuffs the disc all up. And like I said, all of these freaking gray discs are beat up like that, doesn't matter what it is, because they didn't ever come in proper sleeves. They just came in something like this where they have all sorts of room to move around and get scuffed and for dirt and stuff to get in. So all of these old gray discs are always banged up, so kind of is what it is. But sealed one, man, and it was already all scuffed up. It just kind of pisses me off, but it is what it is. The disc does work, so it's fine. And I mean, I have iTunes 4.2 as an exe file. Otherwise, I don't care what's on this disc. So it's just kind of cool to have, though, the fact that there's a gray Apple disc that works with Windows. So thought it was kind of a neat little novelty. Put the stuff away real quick. And I'll move on to some PS2 games here, and then one Xbox game, just one. But most of these were from a lot that I got of games. A couple of them are from Big Mike's Toy Reunion in Kingman, so I did get some stuff from Big Mike again. Obviously from his eBay store, because I haven't been to Arizona yet. Got Burnout 2 Point of Impact. This is a classic game. A lot of people don't know about this because only Burnout 3 and later are really talked about nowadays. This is an excellent racing game. Obviously it has a lot less features than the later ones in terms of you can't do takedowns, this and that. But as a racing game, this is just awesome. So, pretty cool. This is before EA had anything to do with the series. What's cool about this, and just this game, because I don't find games very often like this, but this one had the original receipt, just a little stub. So you can see it's pretty faded, but that's typical of an old receipt. I mean, you can barely even fucking see it because of the light, but and it says, "Thank you for shopping your Redstone main exchange." It has their phone number. PS2 Burnout 2. And the total was $49.95. They paid with cash, a $50 bill. And so they got 5 cents change. So pretty cool. No sales tax. And it says date of purchase was December 26th, 2002. So a long time ago. Long freaking time. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, back in the good old days, no sales tax. You know, I remember, I mean, it's over 5 years ago now. I remember back in the good old days of shopping on eBay and not paying any tax at all here. Those were good times, man. Those were real good times, but them days are over. Got the original Burnout game. Again, the discs are like brand new for all these I'm going to show except for one. I mean, just excellent shape. Very light scratches on some of them, but nothing that's a problem. So, and all of them have manuals. It's pretty cool. Not as good of a game as the second one, but kind of a novelty for 2001. Then here's a game that's freaking killer. Tourist Trophy. This game is absolutely awesome. It's basically just Gran Turismo 4 with bikes. And couldn't really ask for much more from this, man. It is a really good game. All the same courses and stuff on here. Menus and modes. It's pretty much all the same game. But the handling and the physics for the bikes are excellent. This game plays great. easily one of the best motorcycle games ever made, without question. It only has like over 100 bikes. It doesn't have nearly as many as Gran Turismo 4 had cars, but the selection on here is pretty good, and the tracks work pretty damn well for motorcycles. So it is a really good game. If you're into this kind of stuff, check this freaking game out. A lot of people don't know about it because it's kind of obscure. Came out pretty late in the PS2's life in 2006. But it's awesome. This case is a little beat up. You can see there it's kind of beat up. Just kind of rough in general. And the manual's kind of bent up, but what are you going to do about it? Disc is decent. And it does play good, so. And again, really cool. I didn't even know that this existed until the beginning of this year, and I'm a huge fan of the old Gran Turismos. The only motorcycle game that I've played that I think might be better than this is MotoGP for the original Xbox, the very first one from 2002, not the Namco games. That game is freaking killer. I've always loved that game. I used to play it a lot back on the original Xbox, back on the original system. Because that was one of those games that you could play it on the 360, but the frame rate was just abysmal. I tried playing it on an emulator on my computer here recently. Yeah, the frame rate just blew. Which, I have an old computer, so no surprise. But speaking of Gran Turismo, got Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. And I already have this game, obviously. I've had it for years. But this is a different version. A not for sale copy. This was a part of a console bundle from 2001, back when this first came out. So a red case instead of a blue case, which I think is pretty freaking cool. And this is pretty common. It was a pretty popular bundle when it came out, because obviously this was one of the first big games for the PS2. So it's very easy to find this. It costs basically the same as any other copy of it, and it's not hard to come across. But it's just kind of cool. Manual is the same as a regular copy, but the disc is different. And again, it says not for sale on it. So pretty neat red disc on it. Kind of looks like a PS1 game, like the Greatest Hits kind of, where it was like just basically black and white and maybe one color on it. Because like you had the Sony logo, didn't have any color, and the PlayStation logo, same deal. So kind of neat. Just a little collector's item. That's probably my favorite Gran Turismo game. 4 is right up there. I think 4 is probably a better game in reality because it just has way more content, but for me, this game is just timeless. I just love it. One of my favorite games of all time. Another racing game here for this PS2 system. F1 2001. A lot of people are kind of iffy nowadays on these older EA F1 games. For me, man, I think this plays good. With assists on, I will admit, it does play good. I don't think the control is too touchy. I think it's just about right. Again, complete. This game is on a CD. Like most of these early EA Sports games from 2000 and 2001, they're all on CD. A lot of early PS1 games. A lot of early PS2 games were on a CD, so pretty cool. In rather good shape. Like I say, EA did make some pretty cool games at one time. If you can believe it. And here we go. A lot of these are sports games. I mean, the rest of these PS2 games are all sports games. I know a lot of people just don't care about sports games that watch me, or just gamers in general, which, I mean, if you don't care about sports in general, you're not going to care, but some of these older sports games are freaking excellent. Just the amount of features and the amount of content in them and the gameplay, just a lot of these are great. Like this one here, Call of Troops 2K6. This is an excellent game, one of the best in the franchise. I would say it's better than 2K8 gameplay-wise, by far. 2K5 is probably better than this overall, but this is a very good game. This is probably the worst shaped game out of all of them. It's absolutely covered in light scratches. Of course, it's nearly impossible to show that fact, but you can kind of see there that it's pretty scuffed up. Yeah, it's got all kinds of light scratches all over the disc, so it is what it is. They're all light enough that if you resurface the disc, it would be fine, and it does play fine already. There's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't look pretty. And then, manual's good, other than the fact that some freaking idiot wrote their name on it, which I paid like $5 for it. So, which even that is a little much, maybe. But for eBay prices, that's very good. But, so it's not valuable at all, obviously, but just like writing on anything else that's valuable, nobody would ever buy that manual. If it were theoretically worth anything, nobody would ever buy it because somebody wrote their name on it. It just kind of bugs me, even though it's not worth anything. I don't like that kind of stuff. But, NBA Live, the rest of these PS2 games are NBA Live. Here's 2002. It was all part of a lot. So, kind of cool. And again, kind of like the F1 game, it has that classic spine design for that year. Pretty cool. I haven't played this game. I don't know how it is. Again, just like the other one, comes on a CD. So again, don't know. I'm really freaking tired, man. If you can't tell, look at me. I'm freaking tired. I'm beat to hell. NBA Live 2003. This is a really good game. I have played this one. This is a very good game for arcade football. Arcade football. Arcade basketball. You see, I talk so much about fucking 2K4 and NFL games that I just go straight to that. But for arcade basketball, this game is awesome. It really does play well. Has a lot of features. Graphics are actually pretty good for the time. The game's vibrant. It looks good. It looks nice. And the sounds in this game. I mean, when the guy on defense fucking swats the ball, boom, this fucking explosion sound almost. It's the craziest thing ever. And when he swats the ball, like every time he does it, the ball goes flying halfway across the court. It's just hysterical playing this game. The games are incredibly high scoring. But it is fun. It is a cool game of basketball if you don't care about realism. And what's cool about this is, like I say, it comes with that soundtrack disc, so it does have it. And this is kind of a unique variant for PS2 cases because it does have the PlayStation logo on the disc holder there. Otherwise, it's basically a normal PS2 case. So, pretty cool. So I'm glad to have that. NBA Live 2004. Another good game. This is definitely a much more realistic game, and it's a very good game at that. This is basically when NBA Live and 2K were neck and neck, especially because 2K4 was a big step back for the NBA games in terms of being arcadey. So this is actually a pretty good game for the time, definitely. And, you know, I look at NBA 2K24, like, I don't know, guys, when you freaking walk in a city to a gym for your character, you spend more time in the fucking city than you do playing basketball. You spend more time looking at fucking monetization than you do playing the damn game. If you play an online server, you get booted because the servers are so unstable and they say that you're banned in the year 4,700 something. It's like, what the hell? I don't know, man. That game, 2K has lost their way. Like I say, if they made another football game, it would suck. There's no question. And gaming in general is just kind of like that now. And that's why I don't buy games when they come out. I don't really buy new games at all. But they all come out and they're just junked like that. The servers and stuff, they just suck. Anyway, NBA Live 2005, we keep going. A lot of people like this game. I've only played it on the GameCube version on my Wii with Nintendo. And I'm thinking it's just a glitch with that. Either just outright the GameCube version is bugged or Nintendo glitches out the game, because the players in this game walk like they're fucking origami or something, man. It's just the weirdest thing ever. And you'll be watching players, and every player is affected. You watch them move across the court, they don't walk. They appear somewhere else. They appear in the next area. Like, it's not like it's choppy. It's just outright the characters are not walking. They're just kind of appearing in the next frame and going along. They're all it's the weirdest thing ever. And the game is unplayable because of it. And I'm sure it's not really like that on here. So I'm going to have to pop this in and see. Because as far as I'm concerned on the GameCube version, it is absolutely unplayable. I don't know what it is, but it's not playable. And then the same thing happens on this game on the GameCube on Nintendo. NBA Live 2006. It's not as bad, or 06. It's not as bad as 2005 was with regards to the glitchiness, but yeah, so again, I'm thinking it's just some kind of problem with Nintendo or the GameCube version playing it off a hard drive. I don't know. But it's fucked up. So anyways, all of these were in great shape. Discs are like brand new. All discs like brand new. And even the insides of the cases, man, like pristine, perfectly smooth and clean, like no fingerprints or anything. So a good lot for sure. I mean, I didn't need every NBA Live game. I just need 2003 and 4. Otherwise, I don't really care. But cool to have them. Just less games to add to my PS2 collection, because that's my main system, man. Deuce for life. Good time. Although I will say, my fat PS2, I'm going to do a video on this, I think, at some point. My fat PS2 and my CRT TV, they do not like each other. Simply do not. There's all kinds of video interference or distortion. There's this big, thick band that goes down the screen, which I don't see on any other system on that TV. And there's bands going this way too. There's vertical bands, and then there's that horizontal band, and there's a bunch of vertical bands, and then there's like this wave around the edge. It's especially noticeable on dark backgrounds, but the console is suffering from some kind of RF interference or something. It doesn't show any signs of that on my flat screen. It's perfect. Crisp video coming out of that thing on my flat screen. The moment I plug it into that TV, though, it's all fucked up. Using the same exact composite cables as my Slim PS2 uses, it's all messed up. I don't know if there's something about the power supply in that system that's just not good, because I have massive RF interference problems in this building. I've just had to deal with it, and I think that's probably contributing to part of what it is. There's just something about the way that power supply in that system is, or the way the video is isolated. It does not play nice with an analog TV like that. It just does not like it. But I don't know why it works fine on the flat screen. I don't know. Maybe it's just something about a digital panel, even though the signal's analog. Go figure. So I might do a video on it, because it pisses me off, because it basically makes that unusable on there. So I got one Xbox game. Just one. I don't really buy Xbox games anymore. But this is a game I've thought about buying for some time. So this was another Big Mike's Toy Reunion game from Kingman. Got Splinter Cell, the original game from November 2002, Beastified. So pretty cool, man. I have this game on the PS2, but it's completely different. That's the Splinter Cell that I know is the PS2. But yeah. And disc's in good shape. But what's weird, and I don't know if all of them were like this, or they've actually just outright aged, like deteriorated with age, because like early CDs do this. Every single original Xbox game that I own that was printed in 2001 or 2002 is bronze. Like, extremely bronze. Not as dark as some of the CDs used to get in the 80s, but that is very bronze. None of my later Xbox games are like that. And none of my 360 games are like that. None of my PS2 games are like that. So I don't know if that's just if that's the type of disc they used, if that was always like that, or if they've aged chemically, I don't know. But they're all bronze. One of them has stopped working on me. I have Halo Combat Evolved for the Xbox. Disc is mint. It does not play on any system anymore. The disc is just dead. So that's the only disc that I've had just die on me. Anything. Music, CD, game, whatever. Only one. So that's bullshit. But there you go for game pickups. I do have some other computer accessory stuff to show. I'm going to have to take the camera down for this just to make it easier for me because I don't have to unplug it and pull it out from where it is. So I hate taking the camera down, but got myself a Microsoft Internet Keyboard Pro. Pull it out. Ugh. It's rough. It's tough, man. It's really tough. But here it is. I'm actually going to put it up just on the edge here because it's straining that cord. I don't want to do that. But it's in very good shape overall. I cleaned it. It was extremely clean when I got it anyway. Just the inside, that bed where all the keys rest, this was all gunked up with hair and crumbs and stuff like that. But otherwise, the keys are in good shape. None of them have been scuffed. None of the labels are faded or anything like that. All the keys work, nothing sticky. LEDs are nice and bright. So it's a really good keyboard. When I cleaned it up, man, it looks pretty good. It's not yellowed that much at all. The only trouble is, like there you can see if you look at that, it looks dirty. So there's all kinds of crud because I've been using this for like a month and a half already. But it does look kind of dirty on the actual shell still. I tried scrubbing it a little bit on the outside without actually taking the keyboard apart and like dumping this in water with soap and stuff. And I could not get it to come off. I could not get that to look clean again. I probably could again put the shell in some soapy water, but I don't really want to take apart the keyboard and it doesn't bother me that much, so I just kind of leave it the way it is. But anyway, the reason I got this is this is the Pro version, so it has all these extra function keys. Get back here. See USB ports right there. It has a USB hub on it. And the original version of this keyboard is a PS2 only keyboard. This has both a PS2 plug and a USB plug. That's what I wanted. Was the USB version of this keyboard. And it does have volume keys as well, which is really appreciated. Basically, all I want for a keyboard is a nice feeling keyboard that uses the IBM style layout with full keys here. It doesn't have any sort of compressed, whatever you call this row of keys here. It's not a different layout or anything. It has a number pad. It has full-size function keys. But I like having volume adjustment on the keyboard because my speakers don't have it. I have to get down on the receiver to do it. So I wanted that. And I actually like, even though this is kind of non-standard here, the way it kind of comes out, the nice big space bar I like a lot. I really do like that. Over a thinner space bar with a sharper edge. This is nice and smooth. It feels good. So this is my favorite keyboard of all time. I don't need a mechanical keyboard at all. This is really nice. And I had the PS2 version of this for years, and I had a slightly trimmed down version of this called a Microsoft Basic keyboard. And they were both PS2 only. And my PS2 adapters that I have are just cheapo ones. And they're getting to the point where they're all freaking out. So the keyboard like resets itself in the middle. All of the LEDs flash at the same time and the keyboard locks up for a second. So that was unacceptable to me. I'm not done showing stuff actually. But because I'll just show you what this is. This mouse here. This is not the one because I actually lost it already. It's in a box of crap already because I don't really care. Because I don't use regular mice. But I bought this exact same mouse, but in a USB version. This is a PS2 mouse. So I bought that in a USB version as well. So let me put this back up so I can continue to talk about this. Let's see what I can do here. I might have to just put it on the other monitor. Maybe. Maybe not. It's crooked. Yeah, I'm just going to put it here. Put the damn cord stuck. Yep, sorry about that, guys. Just gonna have to go for it. Hopefully we did alright. It is what it is, guys. But, I love saying that. It is what it is, guys, because it just is what it is. But, that keyboard, the adapters were just junk. You can get higher quality adapters, definitely. But I'm not spending $100 on one because it's just fucking stupid. So I bought that keyboard. And it's great. I love it. I love this damn keyboard. I've had my other one for years and years. You can go back and look at. I did a pickups vid when I first got it, the PS2 version of it, and it's the best keyboard ever for me. Before this, I was using that Microsoft Basic keyboard again. If you look at my last pickups vid, I show that a little bit. But and that's a really nice keyboard too. But it has that the insert home page up that row is compressed instead of being this 3x2, it's 2x3. I don't like that, so otherwise yeah, now that I've got this, I'm still using just the basic keyboard of my Mac that I've always been using. I kind of would like to replace it with something else full size because this is a pain in the ass for certain old games and Windows stuff that I run on this computer. But again, I like having the volume keys and stuff, so, and the brightness. So it's kind of tough, man. And I like the wireless too, because the ports on this 2012 iMac are real freaking finicky. I gotta buy a hub or something because for external drives they get knocked out real easy, which is a pain in the ass. And my last iMac was like that too. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with keyboards. This is the best one. So anyways, that's pretty much everything for what I'm going to show here. My video is already super freaking long, but I wanted to talk about another pickup that I have. I wanted to put that up here. So I wanted to fucking say about this damn thing. I found at a yard sale, I got an Aqua Forte Ultra Sieve III, which probably most people don't know what the hell that is. It's a filter system for a water filter for like koi ponds and stuff, just outright pond. And these are extremely high quality parts, and I'm going to get on their website here, at least for one of the people that resells them, because they have multiple models of the Sieve, the Aqua Forte Sieve, but this is the Sieve III, like we're talking Civilization. But here, playedkoi.com. I'll link this in the description so you can have a look at what this product is. I got it for $30. They want it for $2,300. $2,300. I paid $30. And here's another website that's selling it for $2,974.98, $300 delivery. Here's another site, Hanover Koi Farms, $26.50. Inland Koi, $2,085, $23.50. So there you go, the Ultra Sieve III filter, They make them in the Netherlands, actually. And they are incredibly expensive. But somebody, I don't know who the fuck I ripped off. But I don't know if the person who owned it originally died and this person just inherited it or got it from somebody else. I don't know, but they did not know what the hell they had. So I walked away with it for 30 bucks. But, because I didn't even know what it was at first, but then I looked at it, I thought, what the hell is Ultra Sieve III? I just kind of thought about that, and it's like, I looked it up, and it was like, what, man, I gotta go for that. I gotta go for that. I wouldn't even mind, because I might just keep the thing for myself if I can fix it here, which is what I'm going to get into, where I can flip it for $1,000, $1,500 bucks. Because the problem I'm having with it is, basically, the way this thing works for the sieve is there's a float in it, which when you first get it and set it up, you can fill that float up with water, then seal it off, just for some, I guess like buoyancy. I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's basically what it is. You just fill it up to whatever level you want it, and then you're done. Or you don't have to put water in it at all. That's what I've seen some people online saying, is they just don't put water in the float at all, and they do just fine. And again, that's what I did. I demoed it, and I had no water in the float at all, and I filled it. And I noticed that the whole sieve was getting flooded. The whole thing was completely flooded instead of actually sending the water the way it should. It was just filling up, like a tank. And it's like, what the hell? That's definitely not the way that's supposed to be working. And, you know, I don't know why it's doing that. I gotta take the thing apart and actually get that float out. But the float is completely full of water. That's what's making it do that, is the float is filled up and it's not leveling things out the way it should, apparently, because the whole thing's flooding and that float's full of water when it shouldn't be. Now, apparently what there is for this float, the way you sealed off, it's got this like rubber cork type thing. Apparently that's just a real cheap piece, and sometimes it just pops out on its own. And I haven't gotten to the point where I've taken the float completely out, but I looked at it and I don't see that thing missing. From what I can tell, it's not missing. Maybe it's dislodged, or it's kind of crumbled or something to where it's just not sealing properly, or the float itself is just cracked. I don't know. I really don't know what the problem is with this thing, because it's completely filling the float on its own and it shouldn't be. So there's obviously something there with that float that's compromised, and it's flooding the whole sieve. So basically it's junk unless I can fix that. And the float itself goes for hundreds of dollars if I wanted to buy a replacement, which if it's cracked, I might just try to seal it myself. That's what, again, I don't know. I'm going to have to open this thing up and look. Or go down to Home Depot and buy another rubber cork type thing for it. Because you can get different sizes, and apparently there's a size that's a little better, a little tighter. It fits better. And it shouldn't pop out on its own or come loose or whatever the hell it's done. So again, I'm going to have to open it up, but it's pretty involved from what I could see just on the outside to outright take the whole float out and inspect it and drain the float. It's going to be kind of a complex problem to deal with. But what I noticed is I emptied the sieve and I flipped it. I came back to it, there was less water in the float than before. It still had water in it, but it wasn't full. So it's leaking. Clearly the float is leaking. That's what's wrong with this thing. But I don't know why. I gotta take it out and see what's wrong with that float. But I'm hoping it's just that rubber gasket, because if it is, how much is that gonna be? Like $6 maybe at Home Depot for a rubber float, and then there you go. I got a fucking $3,000 sieve for 30 bucks. But I will do a video on it if it doesn't end up just being not the gasket, but the cork thing. If it ends up being that, then it just kind of is what it is. Maybe I'll do a video if I ever use the sieve, if I ever make a little artificial pond in the garden, which is what I think I want to do with it. I want to keep it and actually use it for that, because I have some ideas. Uh, and then on any future property, I think it would be cool to do the same thing. I don't know if I'm going to put like koi. I'm not going to probably deal with anything like that. But I would just like to have a little pond. Because I always like bird baths and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's probably the biggest score of my lifetime if I can fix that damn thing. But yeah, again, but I don't know. Part of me wants to flip it. Part of me just wants to flip it if I can fix this. But the thing is, though, I'm not going to try to fix the float if it's cracked if I want to flip it. I'll just sell it as is with the broken float, and somebody else can seal it or whatever they want to do with it. And even then, I think I could probably get $1,000 or more out of it, because I could use that money. I really freaking could. And that's what I wanted to kind of get into. Was again, I say it every fucking time we do one of these videos now. Again, I bitch and complain, but I really just don't have. I mean, we're in the year 2023. Everything fucking costs a fortune. Gas, groceries, everything is just astronomical. And I don't have credit either. Because, like, the thing is, I saw a Sega Saturn system, like, mint condition. Like, they maybe pulled it out of the box and put it in something else and never used it. Because this thing was mint. There was no dust anywhere on the inside of this thing that I could see. There was nothing. There was no dust at all, nothing in the controller ports, anything. Controllers were like brand new, came with 2 controllers. And it had a stack of games with it. The games alone were worth more than the system was going for. It was all for $100. The games together were worth probably $200. I didn't have $100 to just blow on that. It's like, I would have freaking gone for that. I would have gone for that if I had the money, but I just don't. You know, I can piecemeal little things like that because I'm just such a collector hoarder type that, man, I see stuff. I have goals, big ambitious collection goals. I see stuff and I just nab it, or things like this keyboard that was like $35. I nab stuff up, but I just don't have money to get anything extravagant, and I just kind of these piecemeal pickups. So it's so slow these days, and I can't really strive for anything big because the money's just getting fucking blown out and sapped elsewhere. Like, if I'm lucky because right now, obviously, I'm not paying for the house. I'm not paying rent or anything. If I was, I would not be able to live here. Simple as that. I would not be able to. Not working one job. There's just no way. Not yet. You just don't make enough. You don't make enough, and the rent has gone up. So, everything's fucking expensive. Tires are fucking putting me on my damn knees. Everything. It sucks. It fucking sucks. And it just kind of is what it is. I'm such a fucking whore, though, with my collection that I'm always going to keep picking some stuff up, but man, it's just tough. It's just tough, man. There's so much I want to be able to do. I just don't have the money for it. So, and that's part of why you're not seeing many vids either. It's just because I'm so freaking busy. Because to actually get anything done, I'm not getting anything done because all the money just fucking goes right away immediately. Either because I'm an impatient bastard like that, or just because everything costs so damn much. Because I can blow a day's fucking earnings on gas for a trip. Because I don't make much. I really don't. So, 2 jobs it is. And that's going to be a lot of fun to deal with, especially when I'm already so fucking blown away. I'm just exhausted, guys. I'm really freaking exhausted. So, yeah, it sucks. It just sucks, guys. And that's where I am, and I'm rambling at this point, and I'm fucking tired, and I need to stop. So, anyway, like I say, I might flip the Sieve just to have some breathing room, because that would be fantastic if I could flip this thing. I don't know how long it'll take for me to find a buyer for this thing, but I might flip it, or I might keep it for myself, because it is a pretty freaking cool little thing. It's quite large, but Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, to be honest with you, but the money would be nice. I could buy a. I shouldn't buy anything with it. That's the thing. I shouldn't buy anything with it, but I think it'd be cool to get a brand new computer or something. But we'll see. We will see, guys. Maybe I'll win the fucking lottery someday, and I'll buy a new computer, a new phone, and a new iPad all at the same time, and I'll fucking do unboxing vids for it. But who knows, man? Who fucking knows? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my fucking rambling video, my pickups video, and I will catch you guys later.